Good morning. My name is Casey Brady, Voting Systems Analyst for the Department of State's Bureau of Elections. Joining me is Brandon McCullough, Elections Analyst for the Bureau of Elections. Today is Monday, December 15th, 2025, and the current time is 10 a.m. On behalf of the Secretary of the Commonwealth, I would like to welcome you all to the examination of Ballot ClearVote 2.5 electronic voting system and take this opportunity to explain the guidelines that we will be following. First, it should be noted that the Secretary of the Commonwealth is holding this examination pursuant to the provisions of Section 1105A of the Pennsylvania Election Code, 25 Pennsylvania Statute, Section 3031.5A. Second, the examinations of voting systems are not subject to the requirements of the Sunshine Act. Nevertheless, the Department has determined that it is appropriate to invite the public to observe portions of examinations. Third, this examination will be conducted pursuant to the Pennsylvania Election Code. The Department has entered into a contract with ProV&V to perform the examination. Ryan Wilson of ProV&V Inc. will lead the examination for ProV&V. Following receipt of ProV&V's findings, the Secretary will issue a report that shall be filed in the Bureau of Elections. Fourth, the public demonstration portion of the examination will be memorialized on video, which shall be the official record of the proceedings. Because the video will constitute the record, it is essential that the camera always be accorded the best view of the screen. This may make it difficult for members of the public to see clearly what is occurring at that time. Your presence is welcomed primarily as an opportunity to observe the nature of the process as a whole. Copies of the public demonstration video recording will be made available for public viewing. We do not permit anyone else to record the examination proceedings. Fifth, we will not permit spoken questions or comments from our guests. In order to capture an accurate record of the proceedings, it is imperative that all members of the public follow these guidelines. Persons failing to conform to these conditions will be asked to leave the room. Please turn all cell phones to silent during this examination. Thank you for your cooperation. After the public demonstration, we will be moving on to test cases that the examiner will execute to confirm that the system meets the election code requirements. The public can stay as observers for that part of the examination. There may be occasions where proprietary information will need to be shared by the vendor with the department and the examiner. If that occurs, all members of the public will be excused from the room. After the proprietary information has been shared, everyone will be invited to return to the room. We will now move on to the public demonstration from the vendor. Here to present the public demonstration portion is Russ Dawson from Clear Ballot Group.
I'm Russ Dawson. I represent Clear Ballot. I am our certification program manager. This is my second exam in the Commonwealth. Thrilled to be back. I have been tasked to give a basic overview of ClearVote. ClearVote is used in 8 counties in the Commonwealth. We have some of the existing equipment that is deployed in the Commonwealth, and we've also brought some new equipment that we're bringing to the Commonwealth for its examination. We'll start with our Clear Design module. This is where the unseen heroes spend a lot of their time. What do they use that tool for? They use it to generate the election database that basically covers a spectrum of state, federal, local, borough, township ballot combinations. Once that database is created, it allows for the generation of ballots, and it also allows for the generation of media that is used in our ballot scanning devices and also our ballot marking devices, which we will demonstrate in a moment. It's also used in the back office on election night for the high-speed counters to tabulate mail ballots, and we'll go over that later. So once again, this is Clear Design, the front end. This is really the brains of the election. The tip of the spear are all these devices that the public interacts with, but there's a lot more work that goes on to conduct an election. ClearVote is a pure paper-based system. None of these devices are voting machines. The devices you see here and you see here are ballot marking devices. They're primarily used by voters with accessibility issues, whether it might be dexterity, it might be vision, They might be wheelchair bound, whatever that may be. But these are ballot marking devices. They're not voting machines. Here are the precinct scanners. These are the devices deployed at voting locations in the Commonwealth. Again, they are not voting machines. They are ballot tabulating machines. And we'll show you that process later. So what I'd like to do is we'll start down here with these ballot marking devices. We'll generate a ballot. Actually, I want to back up. I want to go through the basic voting process. A voter enters the voting location, identifies themselves. They are qualified by your poll workers, your inspectors, whoever it may be. And if they are eligible to vote, they're issued a paper ballot and a marking device. The voter then goes to a private area. Could be a freestanding voting booth. It could be a tabletop screen. And they go and mark their ballot in private. Once they mark their ballot, they proceed to the ballot scanner and insert the ballot into the scanner. For those voters that choose to use the ballot marking device, they interface with this commercial off-the-shelf tablet. The poll worker actually initiates the voting session via a password and makes sure that the proper ballot style, for example, borough-specific, township-specific, is accessible to the voter. There's a language selection option. Various settings in terms of if you'd want to use headphones, if you have, let's say, macular degeneration or something like that, where you need a high contrast voter interface, all of those options are available. Blind voters can speed up or slow down the audio. A lot of people with vision challenges are actually capable of listening to text at a very high rate of speed. It's a simple touch screen. At any time, the voter can go back. These are back and forward buttons. And what I'm doing right now, I'm just skipping races and for the purposes of saving a little bit of time. But at any given time, now you can see this is the ballot review screen. Any race or contest where the voter hasn't indicated a race, they can go back, or excuse me, a choice. They can go back to that specific contest or race and make a choice, or they could actually deselect what they did choose and change their preference. Now we're in the ballot generation process. We're going to generate a ballot right here. There's also a little message right here that says, hey, did that ballot print correctly? If for some reason, paper jams, toner smudges, whatever it might be, if that ballot didn't print correctly, we can reprint it. Okay, in this case, it looks good to me. We'll press OK. This is our next generation ballot marking device. This is actually called Clear Access. We demonstrated the smaller user interface, the smaller tablet, simply because this is the preponderance of deployed devices in the Commonwealth counties. Okay, so once again, the voter comes in, 99% of your voters come in, get a ballot, get a marking device, go to a private area, indicate their choices, and then they proceed to the scanners. So now we'll go to the scanners. Let's see, I just did a general election ballot. We generated some ballots previous to this presentation. So in the interest of speed, I want to show you some of the basic characteristics of this device. This is ClearCast D. This is, again, the only ballot scanner, model scanner currently deployed in the Commonwealth. So we're going to start with ClearCast D. The scanner will take a ballot in any of 4 orientations: face up, face down, tail first, head first. So we are going to do a little demonstration of ClearCast D. In this case, the scanner has detected a ballot with no marks. It could be a true blank ballot. Some voters will come to the polling place and cast a blank ballot for a variety of reasons. Not common, but it does happen. ClearCast D can read almost any spectrum of color and almost any type of marking device. But in case a voter decided to use their non-compliant voting device and the scanner reads it as blank, the scanner will allow that ballot to be returned and that ballot can be cured. A voter can either overmark their ballot with a compliant marking device, or they can go get another ballot. I think you get 3 chances in the Commonwealth before 3 strikes and you're out. That was a blank ballot. We'll go ahead and reinsert it. The voter says, yeah, I'm protesting. I didn't make any marks. That's the submit button, okay? Let's say a voter makes votes for 2 in a vote for 1 contest. We call that an overvote. And the scanner will also detect that. In this case, the messaging will clearly state, United States Senator, vote for 1, you've made too many choices. Would you like your ballot to be returned, or do you want to cast it as is? In this case, we'll cast as is. Okay. Last ballot for this particular scanner. This is a ballot that's been marked correctly by the voter. It doesn't necessarily mean that they voted on every race. It does mean that they haven't overvoted or attempted to cast a blank ballot. You also hear the audible indicator to the voter indicating that the ballot has been scanned correctly. Let me see. These are Republican General. This is our next generation ballot scanner. It is called ClearCast Go. We anticipate that as devices across the Commonwealth start to age out, so to speak, generally 10 to 12 years is the lifespan of a voting system, counties will begin to refresh their fleet, whether it's commercial off-the-shelf products or ballot scanners, okay? Anyway, this is ClearCast Go, and you can see it's on a all-in-one case, which allows for, it will transport, store, deploy at the polling location, et cetera. So we're gonna cast a few ballots on our next generation scanner, which we might start seeing in the Commonwealth as scanners start to age out. This is an overvote. Just wanted to see. Yep, the party contest below. This was an overvote for President of the United States. Again, we can return it. Or we can cast as is. This is a ballot that's marked correctly. Should go right through. So again, ClearCast D, ClearCast Go. I did forget to mention this is our successor ballot box for both this device and this device. It's a collapsible ballot box, allows advantages in transportation, maintenance, storage, and so on. Okay? I might need these. At close of polls, where did I get that? Here we go. At the close of the polls, the poll workers close the election. Real basic intuitive menu. They close the election, which allows automatic generation of vote totals. I think we automatically print 5 in the Commonwealth. I think, is it 5, Sindhu? I think.
It varies by county.
But anyway, your poll workers will post these at their voting locations. They will then remove USB memory sticks and physically take all of the materials, including the ballots, back to the county seat or wherever your election office is. All of these USB sticks will then be uploaded into the back-end module, which is ClearCount. And that's what we'll go to now. It's also important to note one more thing. If, for some reason, there was catastrophic failure at the polling location, if a scanner went down and there was no replacement, if somebody might spill a beverage on it, if there was sabotage, the voting can go on with a paper-based system, and at the end of the evening, your poll workers can still reach into the box, physically bring the ballots back to Election Central, and we can count them on a central high-speed scanner. So there's layers of redundancies in the system. Mail ballots, kind of uncommon to the Commonwealth until about 2000. I know there's a lot more mail ballots cast here than there were for decades. We use commercial off-the-shelf scanners. We're not in the scanning business. We are in the election management software business. We pick best of breed commercial off-the-shelf scanners, combine that with our proprietary software, and count ballots centrally in the back office. Depending on the size of the counties, they may have multiple scanners. Some of your smaller counties may just have 1 or 2. But in any event, we can network these. Ballots are scanned, results are automatically uploaded into our ClearCount reporting system. We're going to scan some mail-in ballots right now just to show you how fast and easy the scanner is. And it's as simple as that. Folded ballots aren't a problem. I think, have we counted 22 inches in bucks?
No.
No. Typically in the Commonwealth, ballots don't exceed 19 inches, but we do count folded documents. They're more challenging, of course, than flat documents, but we know how to do it and the scanner knows how to do it. So at the end of the night, results from your scanned mail ballots and all the results from the USB sticks from the ClearCast D and ClearCast Go scanners are all accumulated in one single database, and that's when results are generated and disseminated, whether it's paper printout, whether it's on a website, et cetera. That data from every county, regardless of vendor, is also sent electronically to Harrisburg for central upload. That's a general overview of the ClearVote system. We appreciate this opportunity and we hope we've met your needs.